Peace.
Uh,
All right, guys, happy Monday. Again, I am back sharing another one of my athletes' amazing journeys. And Tammy holds a very special place in my heart just because she came to me thinking there was something wrong with her in two areas. Number one was panic attack in the swim, which had never happened before. And we're going to get to that. And then number two was she was told by her doctor she shouldn't run anymore, which is I hate those words, right?
Indeed.
And yeah. So we're going to get there because that's not true. That was not part of her journey with me, of course. But go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Okay. Hey everybody. I'm Tammy Taylor. I'm a triathlete. One,
Yes.
I can now say I'm a triathlete. And also I'm a pilot for American Airlines. So I that's work, and yeah, I'm a daughter.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you came to me after Miami Man last year.
that's right.
And last year's Miami Man, I was a little in shock when I did the race, seeing so many people having panic attacks in the water, right? And it's a very common thing because the water is a lake, it's not the ocean. And most people are used to training in the ocean where the ocean kind of supports you and helps you float. Um, and that was just not the case, right? But let's go back because there was actually you actually had an Ironman dream even before that. So why don't you talk about
Right.
what you just told me that I had
Uh,
no idea
uh,
about? So just right
yeah.
now. Like where were
Yes.
you before? Yeah.
So I always epitomize like if you complete an Ironman, like that's the epitome of health, right? Like health and fitness.
Yeah.
And my goal was to achieve that. So when I was 25, 24-ish, so 25 years ago, I started out pursuing an Ironman goal, you know. So I ran a marathon Thanksgiving of 2000. In
Okay.
June of 2001, I was training on a road bike, and
Okay.
I was hit by a car, and 30 days hospital stay, you know, the whole airlifted to
Wow.
um, a facility that could handle my injury and stuff. I was I was released, you know, I had a broken hip, a broken back, a broken clavicle, face.
You're lucky to
Um,
be alive, really.
Truly,
You
absolutely,
have your
without
helmet on?
that's what saved me, right?
Yes.
That and grace, sheer
Yes.
grace, you know.
Yes.
But a bigger thing is like I busted the windshield with my back,
Oof.
so I have a scar that's that big on my back that you know that kept me in the hospital for a long time and
Fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
So so I kind of put that dream
Aside.
aside, right,
Yeah.
and healed, right. Like I was released from the hospital in July, and then September of that year I was able to put weight bearing.
Okay.
But I didn't run again
Right.
for years, you know, for
Right.
years and years and years, you know.
So
So
how did you get interested in doing like trying to do triathlon again and signing up for Miami Man? How did that happen?
um, because it was a lifelong dream to do, you know,
Yes, get back
and
to it.
right, and so and I, you know, my career is settled, right? Like I'm established in my career. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
not pursuing those dreries anymore.
Right,
You know, I mean that
exactly.
dream's already a reality for me.
Reality. Yeah.
You know,
You're a
so
badass
so
pilot.
right, right. So yeah, like I was like, well, let me get back to my physical health. Let me
Right.
get back to taking care of myself physically.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'll do this. I'll start off with this. And
Was Miami in the first try like you had started to get back to?
it had been a while. It
Hmm.
was the first one in a long time. I had done an Olympic in Claremont, I think in like 2008 or
Okay.
something, you know. So it had
Right.
been years, but it wasn't um but I never had I I would do the event, right? Like, but I didn't train,
You didn't
right?
train for it. Yeah.
You know, like I did the um or the consecutive training, right? Like I didn't
Right.
have a plan to follow,
Right. You
right?
didn't do a training
So,
program. You didn't have a
r-
coach, that kind of thing. Right.
right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, but yeah,
So
so
we're at Miami, man. This is 2024. Last
correct
year,
last year.
you signed up. Did you sign up for the sprint or the international?
I did the international. I signed
You
up for
signed
the
up for the
international,
international. And tell us what
right?
happened. Yeah, tell us what happened.
So I learned right through your coaching and stuff. I had like a lot of challenges or opportunities that day. I was sick, right?
Yeah.
I had a cold. I was congested. I
Yeah.
was taking decongestant, Sudafed, so heart rate's already increased, right? I didn't warm up, right?
Mm,
So I'm doing all the things that you taught me no, right? Like right? Like I know not to do that now, but I didn't know
exactly.
it then, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
I've
didn't know what
learned.
you didn't know. That's the
R-
biggest
r-
thing.
right.
Yeah.
And so so yeah, so I had all of these things and then I started out way too strong and my heart rate went through the roof. I couldn't breathe, congestion, tight suit.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. It
Yeah.
was panic set in,
Yeah.
and I saw the paddle board, and I just held on, and I was like, "Let's go." I'm not, uh,
You're done.
you know, I'm done. I'm done.
Wow. And you never finished that race in
I
2020.
never finished that race. No,
So,
and you
and then
called me a couple of you called me, and you're like, "How'd the race go?" And I was like, "Well."
because I met you at the clinic, I believe,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. 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 So yeah.
So,
So and here our relationship blooms, right? Like those seeds were planted and stuff, and then so we started. I started my journey with you.
yeah. We started with video analysis at the UM pool. I remember our session the first day because and I was like, you can swim, dude. Like, you're a
Yeah.
swimmer, right? I was like, well, how did this happen?
Right.
But we did discover there might have been maybe some, because it happened, you now have PTSD, right?
Right.
So, the body keeps the score. So, after we did the swim evaluation and we had your first swim test and your numbers are actually really good. I mean, like you can swim, right? Of course, you need technique work. You crossed over with your arms, but I mean,
Hmm.
great buoyancy, good head position needed a little work to help prevent drag and stuff like that. And you knew how to train. So it was kind of like, okay, this is totally fixable. But yet, we maybe had some trauma in the body, right? And
Right.
so we did do some EFT tapping,
Hmm. Right.
which many people don't know about. And I use a lot in my program because some people don't know why they have these blocks and they may never know why, but we need to move through that trigger that our body is holding on to and reprogram it so that you can move through it. And number one is confidence and repetition of the drills and the skills of being in the water and all that stuff. But sometimes you have to do the EFT, the emotional freedom technique, to help reprogram the brain and the mind to, if you start to feel that way again, and if you start to go down that rabbit hole, that you are in control and that's not your story anymore, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
because
and it's like so I was prepared, right? Like if that was to happen or if that does ever happen, I
again,
can roll over.
yeah, you know what to do now to take care of
Yeah,
yourself, to
absolutely.
shift yourself
Absolutely.
out of the
Uh,
trauma response that your body is used to and create a new response, right?
that's right. Yeah.
That's exactly what it's all about. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was super excited because I was like, this is not going to be an issue for you. You're going to go on and be able to do any kind of triathlon that you want, right? So, of course, I made you sign up for triathlons because that's my always, when someone signs up to me, we have to sign up with a goal. We have to have a goal in mind because otherwise, if we just delay, it's just going to be training for no purpose. And it's periodized. We get you strong first, work on your skills and techniques first, and then we work on everything else. And then that's when you told me this was December that we had our swim evaluation. That's when you told me, "Oh, I can't run. My doctor told me I shouldn't run." And I'm like, "What? That's nonsense."
Right.
Right?
Well, yeah, right. Because I had a meniscal tear, and and I've learned since that I would perhaps maybe wanted to do more physical therapy than the surgery
Right.
because of the repercussions of it and stuff. Um, And I'm going to jump ahead because I don't want to forget to say this. When I first started doing the strength training and the squats, right, I couldn't do an unassisted squat, right?
No,
Like on a I had to hold on to the TRX ropes and go down and do my squats, but I did them, right?
you did them. Yeah.
And and then now I can do a single leg squat unassisted, right? And so it's just the repetition and the build up and the strength, right?
Yeah.
And I can, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when we did the run evaluation too. And
Mhm.
that first day you were like, no, I can't even run. Like, I'm like, just give me 100 yards, right? I just said, give me 100 yards. And the technique wasn't there. Like, you don't, it's not your fault that you don't know how to run, right? Um, we were put in shoes, our shoes become casts, and we have an issue like a meniscal tear, and the doctor says, oh, well, running's not for you, it's out of the question. But in my opinion, we are meant to run until the day we choose not to. Okay. And it's just a
Mhm.
question of strength and mobility in the right places. And that includes your feet, your ankles, your shins, your
Mhm.
calves, and your hips, right? And then having the strength in the posterior chain, which is your glutes, your hamstrings, and your calves and your feet again. But when you put those together, your body is able to get stronger. And it's good
Mhm.
at getting stronger when you give it the stress that it needs for the goal that you have, which was to run a half marathon
Yeah,
in 70.3. That was our ultimate goal. And
that's
when
right.
you first signed up with me, you were like, that's not possible. You're like, I can't even run 100 yards. I'm like, but you just ran 100 yards and I taught you how to run pain free the very first day. Is that not true?
Right. Yeah. Fall forward, right? Just fall forward and land on the fat of your foot, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
land on your midfoot and then pick up your feet behind you. It's kind of a
Right.
simple concept, but because we're in the really, really thick shoes, we heel strike, right? Because
Hmm.
we can, and we don't feel it when you land with a straight leg out in front of you, overstriding with your heel first. You don't feel the impacts because you got a big old cushion. But when you drop down and get to no shoes or low shoes, your body starts to understand that the midfoot strike is where it's at, right? And then to fall forward and pick up your feet behind you. It's such a
Yeah.
simple concept that I can teach in literally 1 hour, but it's up to you to practice it, right? And you to train it.
Right.
And you did,
Right.
right? So you
I
got to work,
did.
you had the training program. And I just remember every milestone you would hit. You're like, I just did 3 miles. Like, I just ran 3 miles pain free. I'm like, yep. I said I never doubted it based on what I saw. And of course, the surgery you had was just a meniscal surgery. That's a
Hmm.
very common surgery. And guess what? If the muscles around your knee joint are strong, you can run, right? I mean, there's
Right.
people that run
Right.
with no meniscus, right? I
Hmm.
don't recommend them doing marathons, but it is possible, right? So that
Right.
was amazing. And then we finally started with nutrition, right? That was the other
Right.
goal that you set with me.
Yeah.
Because you have a really, really big goal at the end of this year. What is it?
Climbing Kilimanjaro. I turned 50, and so my summit night will be on my 50th birthday.
Oh my
So,
God, it's so
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's coming up in this December, which is two
December
weeks away.
29th. Yep.
Yeah, or a
Yep.
couple weeks away. And
Yeah.
you told me you wanted to lose weight so that whole journey would be easier. And I'm like, okay, let's do this, right? Join my
Right.
Nutrition Essentials program. It's going to be different from maybe any other weight loss program you've ever done, but it will go really well with your training program
Hmm.
because I teach you how to burn fat as a fuel source as opposed to carbohydrate. So was there
Right.
anything in the program that you felt like you were doubtful? I mean, in the beginning, I don't know if you remember.
I don't know if this is going to work. I'm eating too much fat. Right. Right. Like because I'm a 90s child of where
Yeah,
fat,
fat was bad.
fat free. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and this did not happen overnight. And this is
No.
this is what lifetime weight loss is about, is
Right.
consistency and changing your habits and teaching
Yeah.
your body how to be metabolically efficient, which is burn fat as a fuel source. And you have to eat fat and
Mhm.
protein to have your body be that efficient engine it was supposed to be before we all got addicted to carbohydrates and sugar, right?
Mhm.
And that switch, was it hard for you?
Um, I, I want to say I was a clean eater. Like I tried to steer clear from like refined sugars
Good.
for a long time and stuff like that.
Right.
But, like the whole modification, no, I mean, like it's nice to know protein, carb, fat, right? Like
Right.
those are the three things that I need to eat every
Macronutrients
time
that
if
you
it's that I need, right? And so once I kind of got into it, no, right? Like I wrap up sweet potatoes now and have the flight attendants cook them for me. I'm like, hey, can you cook this for me? And I bring my hard boiled eggs, and that's like my
perfect.
meal of choice, like
Right.
whenever I'm working,
Travel.
right?
Yeah.
Right,
And and
so
you did have some challenges, meaning, well, how do I do this on the road? Right. You told me.
right,
And
yeah.
honestly, you were in Argentina. I'm like, don't worry about it. Go have a steak. Like, let's go.
Right, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
You would tell
yeah,
me your different locations, and I'd be like, no problem. They got you there in that country. Um,
right, yeah,
and they're
yeah,
usually using better oils to cook their food in than the United
right.
States and all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I will tell you, you did. It wasn't like an overnight thing, but what was your total
No,
weight loss? Let's
um,
celebrate that.
yeah. So it was like 41 pounds, right? But I'm kind of a little bit heavier because of I'm like maybe 5 pounds, but I did lose 41 pounds,
You
and
lost 41 pounds total.
right,
And
and
you,
and I will say with the I have to get a medical every 6 months with
oh yeah,
for
this is
for
big.
work and stuff,
Big.
and so I had my AME, my aviation medical examiner, has like a DEXA scan in his office, so it measures body composition, like fat and muscle. So in December, I did the scan, and then in June, this past June, I was down like 30 plus pounds at that point in time. But he was so impressed. He's like, you didn't lose any muscle. Everything you
Amazing.
lost was completely fat. I lost fat. And he's like, typically people you lose a little bit of muscle while you're losing weight, but I just lost it was fat that I lost. And so,
Amazing.
it's
Yeah.
not, yeah. So I'm keeping my muscle
And
mass and
and
losing.
don't like you keep saying like I only right now it's 41 originally, but I'm a couple pounds overweight. That's normal. Just to let you know, it's normal to
Yeah.
fluctuate 5 pounds up, 5 pounds down all the time.
Hmm.
Like depending
Right.
on where you are. And you just stopped a big training block. You stopped training with me after Miami Man to focus on Mount Kilimanjaro, right? So
Right.
don't don't punish yourself for the 41 pounds
Yeah.
that you lost, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
celebrate it. You
Right.
transformed you. You look completely different from when I first started with you.
Right. Yeah. And I can tell that too, right? Like, I mean, like the lean muscle mass and stuff. I'm like, golly, look at those muscles, right? Like
I remember
whenever,
your pants. I remember your uniform pants. You're
oh,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, I can fit into my uniform pants that I hadn't been in, right?
Yeah, right. I went down two pant sizes.
Amazing.
Like it's right. Like yeah, it's incredible. It's a
It
good
is.
win. It's a
It's
great win.
a huge win. It's a life changing win that you can
Hmm.
celebrate. And now you have the tools in your toolbox no matter what happens. You know how to metabolically work with your body to get the results that you desire, right?
Right,
So I
indeed.
want to celebrate you because I am extremely proud of you. But that's not
Thank
even
you.
the best part. We're not done yet. We're not done yet with all those wins. Better swim, better run, pain-free run, and 41 pounds of weight loss. Let's talk about your 70.3 and your two podiums or two or three podiums on the way there, right?
Right. Yeah. 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 I know, right? Like it's been a full year and a miraculous year. I'm really
Yeah,
reflecting back on it, I'm grateful. So thank you.
you're
Thank you for your encouragement and giving me the protocol to do, right? I told you day one, I'm like, I'm trainable.
welcome. You're
Just tell me
coachable,
what to do.
right?
I'm trainable, right? Like
Yeah.
I can do it. Just tell me what to do. And you laid out the format and this is what happened.
And we do not see each other, right? You
No,
live
we're
in.
remote.
Yeah, we're
I live
remote. We coach I coach you remotely. But yeah, so we also got into cycling. You did your power test. You're
mhm,
extremely strong on the bike. So I was super I didn't realize you had been biking for as long as you had. So that's most likely why you have such strength on the bike. So I was super excited to know that. And then we started the journey on the triathlon road to 70.3 Augusta. We had a big group there, so I thought it was the perfect race for you. And the fact that you were a strong cyclist, I knew you could handle the climbs, right?
Hmm.
So on the road there, you did a few short course races and you did end up on the podium. How did that feel to get on the podium?
You know, I just wanted to finish, right? Like,
Right.
let me just finish. But then to get on the podium and get the first place medal,
Yeah.
it's like, yes, it's like validation
Yeah.
and
Celebration
just
again.
like celebration, right? Just absolute just celebration. Like, oh, I did it. I did
Yeah.
it.
And this is
And
the Athena category, but there's she showed up. Like so if someone ever wants to take that away from you, you can say I showed up to do that race in my category and I got the first place. No one can
right,
ever take that away from you, right?
right, yeah. Yeah, so I did the sprint in May,
Yeah.
the sprint try 305, and then in July, hot July, I did the Key Biscayne,
Yeah.
and came in first, and then the Augusta,
Yeah.
that was in September,
In
and
July, did you do the international?
I did the international in
Yeah, and that's a
July. Yeah,
really hot race to do the
it
international.
was.
But did you see how that longer race, even though it wasn't a half Ironman, but the longer race helped you get ready for the 70.3?
Yeah, because of the heat, right?
Yep,
Two, and the time of day and stuff.
yep,
But then I just want to say, like, Coach Nico, I don't get to train with you guys
yes.
in person,
Of course.
but with that cowbell, man, I needed that cowbell. I
For
needed that
sure.
cowbell. And
We
then,
try, yeah, we try to be in as many races as we can be for you guys, but we nicknamed him Coach Cowbell after that. And he actually got blisters on his fingers from
ring
cowbell.
it. And Coach Dennis, like the Zoom bike rides, I love that on Tuesday nights,
Yes, yeah, you were hitting
and,
those. Yeah,
and
that makes a
that's
huge difference.
increased power like crazy. And I just want to say, like, I've been riding the same routes where my house is and stuff, and I know we work on power, but with power comes speed. My 2 hour bike ride, 32 miles typically,
Mhm.
I can get that down to like an hour and 50 minutes now. My
Sweet.
hour, 16 and a half mile ride, it's now down to like 54 minutes.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like,
Aerobically. Yeah,
it,
aerobically,
it,
just because you have increased that FTP.
yeah,
And for you guys that don't know, we do a live Zoom call every Tuesday night with Coach Dennis on your bike trainer. So you have your power zones based on the testing that we give you, and then we do the workout together as a group. But yeah, you were hitting those, I remember, and you would always be like, "That was the best workout." You love that.
right. Because it's like a heart rate increase, like what phenomenal,
Yeah.
but I will say on that international, Coach Dennis ran that last few quarter of a mile with me,
With
and
you.
just was like, you're doing great and this is phenomenal. And just I needed that air in my cell,
Right.
and it was there, between the last quarter of a mile run and then the cowbell that really saw me through. And then we did Augusta, right?
And
And
then we all did
then we did
Augusta together.
Augusta.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was awesome. So
yeah,
talk about Augusta because that was a big, unknown for you. And like you mentioned, I just got goosebumps again, like a full circle moment in the way
yeah.
from 25 years ago, you had the dream of doing an Ironman brand race. And here we are 25 years later, and you
In
get
my
to
home
do it
state.
in your home state of Georgia, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Truly,
So how did
truly.
Augusta go for you? It was a challenging course. It had hills, mountains on the bike
Yeah,
compared
yeah.
to Florida.
The swim, I was a little apprehensive because we did because life happens, right? And we weren't
Right.
allowed to get in the water because of the storm and stuff. And but it went well, right? Like, I overswam. I my sighting was not 100%, but I've
Okay.
learned, so I took what I learned from that to go back to Miami, man,
Right.
and
This time. Yeah.
yeah.
So what happened on
So
the swim? You swam past the exit?
I was getting close to swimming past. I had to brake hard right. Like it was crazy. It
But
was
also, it's
crazy.
so fast. The river
Yeah,
is so fast. You're probably like, wait, am I done?
yeah. Well, I was wanting to be done. I was definitely wanting to be done. But yeah, it was a good swim. It was murky water, right? And it was to be in my head and you know, um reciting the 23rd Psalm over and over and over again just to get me through, right? Because that's
Yeah.
calming. That's
You gotta have
calming
your
for me.
mantra, what works for you. But did you
Right.
have a panic attack during that
I
swim?
did not
No.
I did not, no.
Yeah.
And then, came out, ran up the 100 foot, seemed like 100-degree pitch hill,
Right.
right? And
Right.
had the peelers, thankfully, to take it
Yeah, the
off. But
wetsuit. Yeah, the wetsuit
yeah,
strippers, yeah.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
saw you coming out and your smile, the
I,
best.
I did it right, like because
The best.
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to panic. I don't want to
Right.
panic. I don't, and then yeah, the bike ride. I think looking back on it, I could have pushed a little bit harder on the bike ride. I
It
was
was an
just
unknown for you. Yeah,
it
you
it
would.
truly it was.
And I
Yeah.
did caution you. Like we did have power numbers that I wanted you to stay within for the
Yeah,
very reason that, yeah, you probably could have pushed harder on the right, but it might have negatively affected your run, right?
right.
So
Yeah.
always that unknown.
Right. And the day prior when we had to do, or not had to do, but when we did our ORPS,
Yeah, our pickups
and
over race pace sprints.
I ran my fastest mile, right? Like I
What?
ran my fastest mile at that point in time. I've since surpassed that mile,
Yeah,
but I ran my fastest mile
which
that
was
day, 10:23,
right. And I
ten
think we
twenty
did your
three.
first run test and it was a 12, like 30-minute
But
mile, if I'm not correct.
right,
Yeah, that was your
right,
one
yeah.
mile run test. You were at a 12:30 and you got down to a 10:20.
Ten-
And it wasn't even during an actual test. It was just
And
during
it
a
was
warm.
hot.
Yeah.
And it was hot.
That's huge. That's 2 minutes
Huge.
faster. That's amazing. And you've gotten even faster since then, right?
Right, yeah, I'm down to like 10:18.
Amazing.
10:18. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
you did a little pickup, you told me at a 7:20 pace, right?
Yeah, for 30 seconds, but still
Yeah, but
30
okay.
seconds, 30 seconds,
That's
like
how
it's
that's
like
how you get faster. That's how you get that 10-20 minute mile underneath the 10-minute mile. You do your workout, you working on that VO2 max, that faster speed, because you have to train your body how to move quickly. So if you do the repetitions and the plyometrics as well, which is like, you got to be careful with the knee and all that stuff, but you can still do them. That's where you get the speed. And you also have to give a commitment, like a 1 to 2 year commitment to if you want to get faster on that run. But it's totally
right.
possible, so don't give up on it, okay?
Yeah, no, never. I'm not a quitter. I'm a
Yeah.
turtle. I'm slow and steady, right? Like I'm slow and steady.
But you're not going to
And
be able to say that for much longer.
but I, you know, turtle comes back to
When?
um when I was hiking the Appalachian Trail. Like I would meet up, like I was hiking along, but you meet people along the way and
Right.
stuff. And so they would take off but we would always end up at the same camp spot every evening,
Yeah,
or close. But I was like, I'm slow and steady. I'm going to get there.
yeah,
I'm just,
exactly.
I'm a sightseer.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
then you finished the Augusta, and
I finished
again,
Augusta.
what was your
Huge
time?
accomplishment.
Yeah, what was
Uh,
your
oh my gosh, 7:17:48, I believe. I think that was right. 7:17:48. So,
and
I had wanted to do under
yeah,
7 hours.
yeah,
It's the hills I did not account for. I thought I was going to be a little bit faster on the
yeah,
hills, and my run was a little bit slower due to the heat. Just
yeah.
the
And
just the
and
heat.
honestly, the hills on the run,
Yeah.
we honestly, it was my bad because I had been on that course so many times before for the last 20 years, and they always had a flat run course, and this one was rolling hills. So not that you didn't have the strength to do them, but we
Yeah.
didn't train as much on the rolling hills that I think that we could have to help you have a faster run. But I was super happy with your time, and you look strong all the way to the
Uh,
end, right?
yeah. Yeah. Like I felt amazing, right? Like the
Yeah, of
next day, I wasn't. Now I was sore, but I
course.
wasn't. I wasn't. I could get up and move and jump around and stuff
Right.
like that.
You
Or,
weren't
like
wrecked.
I wasn't. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Awesome.
was a great. it was a great experience. Yeah.
And then we decided to come truly full circle back to Miami Man and
Right.
actually finish the
Right.
race.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
And there was, and the big thing for that, right? I came out of that swim vindicated, right?
Yes,
Like I did that. And
exactly.
there was a little hiccup with the race and the cutoff time and stuff like that, but that's neither here nor there. I swam that point 0.6 miles without any yeah.
No panic attack, no hanging on
No.
to the
N-
lifeguard, nothing like that. And you came out,
no.
you're like, done, check box, right?
That's right. And my sighting was a lot better, right? Like I applied what I learned in Augusta to do,
Great.
so yeah, I had
Yeah.
a straight line. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you crossed the finish line and then how did you feel? Like as far as just finishing and you got on the podium again.
I got on the
Um,
podium again. Yeah.
yeah, the state championship, so that must have felt really good. But after that whole year of all these wins, right? Are
Yeah.
you really able to take it all in?
I am, because it was a to reflect back on it, right? Like this is positioning me for the next, which is I'm turning 50.
Yeah.
I'm starting my 50s off in great physical shape. I'm going to be on top of Kilimanjaro. I have the endurance because of all of this training to be able to do that,
Yeah.
and it's huge, right? Like,
It's still a lifelong dream, right?
right, a couple, several, several.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. Like, what a
yeah,
year. What a year, Tammy. And I have to say, like, this has been a year of really tough times for many, many people.
right,
And to be able to find your happiness and what makes you feel good and light up and focus on these things that are tangible to you amidst all the other chaos of the world is really what life's about, right?
right. Yeah, we get one time around the sun, right? Like we
Yeah.
get to go pass around,
Yeah.
so
So I could not be more proud of you. I'm so, so thankful that you chose me to help you on your journey. And thank you so much for trusting me because you were like, I can't run. That's not true. Don't tell me things that aren't true, right? I was like, I
Yeah.
got you. We can do this. We can totally do this. And I thank you for believing in my belief in you because I never had a doubt.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Karen. And thank you for all of the support along the way, right? And the
welcome.
encouragements. And yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Yes, you
can.
can. Yes, you
Exactly.
can.
Well, of course, we want to hear about Mount Kilimanjaro. So you told me you were going to send a picture at the top
So,
with something
yeah.
full circle on, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
I'll,
promise
I'll,
me that. I
I
definitely need
will,
that
I will have
photo.
something full circle.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got to see that logo at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. That would
For
make
sure.
my year. That would be so, so freaking amazing. Anything else you want to share?
Uh, just really thank you. I really have heartfelt gratitude for this whole year, and I mean, it's your job, right? But it's also your passion, and that shines out through it. And I'm very thankful because I'll carry this with me forever, right? Like, and it's a lifelong change of things that I want to continue on in my life. So
I
yeah,
love
thank
it.
you.
You are so, so welcome. All right, you guys, please share this story. It's just too good not to share with as many people as you can if you feel like they might be unmotivated or thinking it's not possible for them, whatever their dream is. Tammy is a perfect example of what's truly possible. So thanks, Tammy. Have an awesome Kilimanjaro climb, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Will do.
See you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye. Let me see if I can push the button.